All right, I'm Casey,
My name's Esmeralda.
I'm TJ.
and this is our Servant Leadership Final Project. So we chose to volunteer with Habitat for Humanity. We did the restore side of it, so we got to see a lot of the behind the scenes on, um, things that the community can come in and get for their house, and then where those funds get to go into building the new houses that they'll build. So first up, we have what is Habitat for Humanity? So Habitat's mission is seeking to put God's love into action. They bring people together to build homes, communities, and hope. So we saw a lot of that firsthand, that there were so many workers there just very passionate about what they were doing. They were trying to help people in the community as best as they could, and then really working to help that construction side be able to build those houses. As far as building a community goes, there are houses all over Des Moines that are being built by Habitat. They're trying really hard to help instill that community aspect, that like sense of belonging in those houses with their house dedications, and having volunteers being the ones that are working side by side with the homeowner that will live there. I think they're really trying to help make sure everyone can be involved and find a good way to make these houses happen.
And something I just want to throw in there is they just really strongly believe that everyone deserves to have a safe, affordable home, something that they just somewhere where they're comfortable and you can raise a family in. So I think that was just something that really stuck out with me about what is Habitat for Humanity and kind of what they stand for.
Perfect.
And then next we go into their history. The idea for Habitat came from a farmer and a biblical scholar in Americus, Georgia, named Clarence Jordan. Habitat was officially founded by Millard and Linda Fuller with the concept of partnership housing. The goal was to provide affordable homes while working side by side with volunteers for those in need of shelter. The houses were built at no profit and using no interest loan. And then I have some more information about the Greater Des Moines, kind of just how the Habitat for Humanity here is like some background on there. And by 2005, the Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity completed their 50th home in Greater Des Moines. And that just is a crazy amount compared to when they first started, which was in 1987.
Yeah, I saw a stat that said since '76, Habitat in general has helped 13.2 million plus people afford meet housing needs for affordable housing. And next, we'll talk about how it's possible to impact 13 million plus people. The Fund for Humanity is a combination of donations and fundraising to help build houses. Volunteers and the homeowners work side by side to build the house. In 1976, Habitat officially formed their international chapter. President Jimmy Carter and First Lady Rosaline raised awareness for Habitat for Humanity. And today, Habitat is in 1,400 communities in 70 countries around the world, helping over 9 million people.
One thing I think that Habitat really did a good job about, that ties back into some of the topics we learned this semester, would be like their listening and awareness. They heard the need of, essentially America, when Jimmy Carter was the one who started, kind of got this project rolling on a more national scale. They heard that people were struggling. They needed houses. They needed somewhere safe to raise their kids and to have a community, and they did something about it. That's how we got Habitat. So now we have these houses being built that wouldn't have been done if no one had listened to what the need was and then found a way to actually make that happen. They really had to be aware of what that need was. They couldn't just decide, oh, I think people need this, when maybe it wasn't. They had to really find a way, like kind of a good balance, to see what they could do to help, but also they needed to know what needed help to start with. And I think, TJ, did you want to show that video?
Yeah. So I've got a video to attempt to share that kind of gives a general background on how the restore goes into everything with Habitat's mission. So can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, I'll play it then.
I don't know about you guys, but I think that that's a really good PSA for not only ways you can help your community, but also when it's talking about keeping things out of the landfills. I feel like society as a whole right now is pretty big on, trying to go green and be more aware of what we're doing and how it impacts our planet. So I think that even if people, for some odd reason, decided, I don't really want to help out others in my community, if they're seeing that, they're helping themselves in the end ultimately, because we're not having, plastic waste going places, and we're not having appliances left in landfills to stay for who knows how long. I think that that's a good thing that people should realize as well. It's not necessarily just ways to help, everyone, which is good, but there's also like a global help that I don't think is anything that we really talked about while we were there.
Right.
So our next slide was about the restore. So when I was talking to some of the workers at the Urbandale Restore, I asked them, what they see the most of, what people try and buy the most, and they told me that the two single most, like the biggest items that people come in for are flooring and cabinets. They said that a lot of times, like even new construction builds, like contractors will come in and look for discounted flooring. They'll look for cabinets to put in those new houses they're building, because they're getting them much cheaper, which is great for them, and they're in good condition. I mean, they're perfectly fine to go in a new house, so we might as well reuse some of those things. Like that video said, the profit gets used to help fund those new house builds. So we're still helping more people. We're finding ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle, and then all of the money from that people are coming in, getting to search and find things for their house. That money is going to help people with their house as well. I think that's really cool that it is helping everyone, but even if you never meet the person who you're helping, you are getting to help someone. So some of the things we got to do at the Restore were, we did a lot of cleaning. We swept up at the end of the day, sometimes in the middle of the day as well, when nails got on the ground or there was dust from cutting up different wood. We cleaned, I don't know how many ovens or fridges and washing machines that we went through and, scraped off food or just kind of up that was in the fridges. We did a lot of sorting through, windows that came in, where they need to go, where these cabinets need to go, where the doors are going to go. Just a lot of organizational stuff that they have a really good system, at least in the Urbandale store for. We did a lot of unloading from things that came in trucks. So we, hauled off doors, we hauled off windows. People just from the community would come and bring in their items. So they would go and get those out of their cars for them. And then we did some more kind of basic stuff like taking the garbage out of the dumpster, making sure that all the cardboard got smashed by the end of the day. And then just kind of stocking and facing throughout the store, making sure it looked nice and those in the community who were going to come in and try and make a purchase knew what they were looking for. Do you guys want to talk about what you got to do there?
Yeah, I did more like project type of things. I know for like 2 of the days I volunteered, I focused on rugs. So it was just cutting the packaging on them, organizing them, then putting them out to the and then from there on out, we would help customers. So that was a really nice uh, communication learning experience because I was able to really be able to talk to customers on the floor. And then my last day, I spent we were organizing the whole back wall of wood. So I mean, I learned a lot there, but it's just crazy how you don't realize how tedious it is and how much work they put into just organizing and for things to be easy to find, accessible for the customers. Like they really care. And so there's a lot of just background stuff. I don't think I didn't realize, at least going into volunteering, that they think about their customers and they want to make everything easy for them, clean and organized. So that's kind of what I did and focused on.
I think talking about things they're doing for their customers, something that kind of I got a perspective for mine was what they do for their workers, like for their employees. So I know TJ and I spent one afternoon, we pretty much swept the entire back like holding area for an hour and a half. We got everything all swept up and then did the smashed cardboard, took out styrofoam to the garbage, just organized things because I know I didn't really realize it, but after walking around, dust gets tracked everywhere. There's some spills from people washing things down, so maybe your rag kind of dripped on the ground, and it got really slippery. They were very, very aware that things need to be safe. They didn't have people carrying more than they could handle. If there was a set of cabinets, 2 people carried them. I really like to see that side of it because I know that's what they do on the construction side. So finding out the resource, they're still very safety oriented and they want to help others, but they know to be able to do that, you have to make sure that your employees are staying safe. So that was something that I really liked to see.
Yeah. And then some of the tasks I had included, a lot of mine were organizing and help move things to help get them out on the floor. Like my first day there, we had to move a bunch of the doors because they had just got some in from a truck, like right as soon as I got there. And then we needed to organize and move the doors. And we realized as the doors came in from the truck that the doors out on the floor weren't organized the best. And then my last day there, we moved a bunch of vanities out and moved a bunch of toilets around. Because one of the workers there, literally, I think the 3 days I was there, I don't think he was working on anything besides like cleaning and making sure toilets were ready to be put out on the floor and like good to go and ready to be sold and operable when they got home. But yeah, there were tons of toilets that I think the 3 days I was there, he probably at least had to have cleaned 15 of them probably, and yeah, just making sure they were operable and able to be sold and put into someone's house.
And so then that kind of is a nice segue into talking about what the Restore has to offer and kind of what they sell. And they sell gently used home improvement materials and some new materials as well. And that kind of includes granite countertops, flooring, light fixtures, paint, cabinets, appliances, tools, They have so many things that I noticed that I didn't even realize going into it that they would have so many refrigerators. At least at the Euclid store I was at, they had so many refrigerators, ovens, so much that I didn't realize they would to offer. Even just tiny little things like light bulbs, like you don't realize they have there. But that's just kind of what I noticed from my experience.
One thing that they had that kind of surprised me was that tool lending library. So people can come in, and if you need to borrow, a snowblower or a lawnmower or a chainsaw, then you can check those out and have them for, I'm not sure how long it is, but then you bring them back. And I thought that was really cool, because if you're, someone who just bought your Habitat house and maybe you don't have all of the funds to be able to do the upkeep for it yet because it's a new house, that they have ways that they can help you with that too. So kind of a caring about you above and beyond just getting your house.
Yeah. And I thought another nice thing about the video was like it showed all the different places that do donate, because like I talked with one of the workers about it, but like just volunteering there, you only see like the guy that just renovated his house dropping off a cabinet that they might want, or you don't see the big picture of like a church donating chairs, or a big business donating chairs, or a contractor who overordered on cabinets, like, because they're not pulling up every day of the week to just drop all that stuff off. It's probably more organized than that, but I liked how the video showed like a lot of the different places that the Restore gets some of their stuff from. So now we'll talk about kind of what Habitat's doing in Des Moines specifically coming up. So the Birdland Park neighborhood was devastated by floods, and Habitat was able to buy part of the land for some of the houses that were destroyed during the flooding. So Des Moines undergoing a housing project, and Habitat was able to buy spot for 28 new houses, which are being built in the Birdland neighborhood after they've recovered from flooding.
I think that's just really cool because it's just such a big project, and you can tell that they want to see this neighborhood become a thriving neighborhood once again. So I'm just really excited to see what is to come, and hopefully I can work or help out because that's just awesome. So that's definitely something I hope to be a part of.
I know, we're talking about the issues of our community, and I think housing is a big one that I didn't really realize. But to have an organization that's able to, that has the power and the funds to be able to get all of that land and then have these plans to put 28 new houses on there, I just think that's incredible. That's so many people and families will be helped by that, and I like to think that someday we could have more of a part of it than we just did for this class.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it'd be a great experience to volunteer with that, especially to kind of bring the experience with Habitat like full circle, and especially with such a big project, it'd be awesome to see, multiple houses going up at once.
It would be really cool. So Habitat's impact, according to their website, 94% of funding received goes towards these house programs. So donations they get, different fundraisers they're a part of, they're really trying their best to get everything out to be able to help support these houses. In 2016, 218 families were served by Habitat and its volunteers. So that could be, new house builds, and a lot of rock the block projects. So you could go in if you need, a patch on your roof. They'll go out and do that. They'll help you paint. I know one summer when I was at Habitat, they built a wheelchair ramp for someone who could no longer easily get into their house. There are a lot of different things that they do that aren't just building new houses that I don't think get as much recognition as they should, because those are great ways to help improve the neighborhood and improve someone's quality of life that's living in that house. The Greater Des Moines Habitat Restore was voted the #3 restore in the United States. And in 2016 alone, 11,000 people volunteered with Habitat. I think that's great that that many people are passionate about, helping people have a safe and affordable home, that they want to spend their time and come out and volunteer.
Yeah, and I'm honestly really excited just to see how big it'll get, especially with the Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity, because they have that Birdland project coming. And I just was curious, maybe they'll build a third store or something. I think it would be a really good experience for a lot of people. But yeah, I'm just hopeful that it's just always going to be a thriving thing because it's helping so many people, and it was just a great experience overall.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, overall, I think we had a really good experience. Everyone that I encountered was really nice. They were positive, upbeat. They made sure that if I had questions, they got answered. I know because I had gotten instructions on how to do a project and thought I knew exactly what they were talking about. But as it turns out, I don't know how to remove a corroded faucet from a sink. Who knew? So I had to make sure I listened and really figured it out the second time. But I mean, overall, I really had a great experience. I think it was good to see how they are helping the community and just to see the number of people that come into the restore in a day looking to find products for their house projects. I had no complaints. And then as far as their future work goes, like you said, if they're going to keep growing, if they would build another restore, just to see some of the houses that are going to come up, I think it'll be a really great time for Habitat.
Yep, I agree with you.
Definitely.
Do you guys have anything else you want to say?
Not really. For the most part, I just think it's a really good organization. It was a really good experience. I definitely think I'll do some more stuff with it. My job, I work at Wells Fargo. They actually do a lot of stuff with Habitat for Humanity. So I just think it'll be something that I'm going to really carry on with the rest of my life. So.
Good.
Yeah, I would definitely like to attempt to stay involved. Urbandale's a little bit of a drive out of the way, but they've got a crew out there, and it was fun working with them between volunteers and the employees. And yeah, I think it'd be interesting to try and volunteer for a house build and to kind of get the full picture.
Perfect. Well, I think that is all. So that is our presentation. It's been a great semester, and you guys were great to work with.
Yes, you too. Both of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. And we are out.